Welcome everybody to this month's KaffeBox with Matteo, featured in the October KaffeBox. So I'll let you guys first introduce yourself, and then we can get into the coffee after that.
Yeah, sure. I'm Daniel. Work at Matteo in the roastery primarily. Do a lot of education and barista work as well. Generally, I've been working here for 4 years. With coffee overall for 5-6 years. So it's been a journey.
Nice to meet you again, by the way.
Yeah,
we chatted last year with the Advent calendar.
Exactly. Yeah, nice to see you again, man.
Yeah, and I'm Christopher. I'm joining this company 2012 as a CEO, and spending the last, I would say, almost 4 years in the roastery, roasting pretty much all the coffee right now, and spending time at the marketing and leading the companies also. Yeah, that's pretty much.
That's it.
Yeah, great. All right, and so getting into the coffees right away. How about we start with the Colombian? How would you like to introduce that to people?
Yeah, I'd say the Colombian is one of the more interesting coffees we've come across, especially it being a natural. It can offer quite a lot, especially if you boil it down to what kind of water usage you have. If it's maybe it's softer water or harder water, we kind of focused on giving a bit of a more specific information how you can taste it, what kind of taste notes you can find in it. But overall, it's a very easy to like natural Colombian, not super duper funky, not like anything which is like in the anaerobic direction. I feel it to be very, very sweet, very fresh cup of coffee, regardless of what water you have, actually. You get maybe of the more chocolatey, nutty vibes if you brew it in a harder type of water, but overall I think it's a very uniform cup of coffee.
Cool. And the farm, is that a farm you've worked at with before?
No, actually,
actually,
I'm going to tell you the truth. I always tell the truth. It was we was planning for having another coffee actually for this sending, and but we see that you have a lot of great Ethiopians coming out from in September, and I think it was also sort of summer. I think it was a lot of great, both from Yaku and from Solveig Hansen, and we plan for a really nice wash. Pretty much the same that's coming out. So we was thinking that maybe if we try to find some coffee or use some coffee that wouldn't be some different, because we have the Kenya, we decided for a long time ago. We love the coffee and we buy extra for it, the whole lot to be able to send to you. So we say, okay, let's do something different than the Ethiopian. So we pick a favorite coffee that we have, not planned for you from the first place, and we, as many else who have been many years in the business, we are like, me personal, most prefer like clean cups and wash coffee, and but I have opened up my eyes a little bit in the last year for trying different kind of fermentation method like anaerobic and naturals. But for us or for the whole team, I will say we like when the winey thing or the natural flavors must be something that comes together with the rest of the flavor in the cup. If you understand what I mean. I don't like to have like a super funky or super winey coffee at the start or at the end of the cup. It tends to normally, there are some naturals now, the last years, that are actually super clean, I would say. But especially when you brew them through, like filter, if you say. So I really like this coffee even more when I used to drink my coffee as a cup it, with all oils and everything else, no filter at all. Or I like to brew big Chemex with maximum paper filter just to see what happens if you remove maybe a little bit too much of the coffee and what's the naked truth of the coffee. And if you drink this coffee as brew it as Chemex or whatever, I think that helps the coffee to be even cleaner, and then you really pick the notes better. And you have and for us it's like it's adding on sweetness to it, and the naturals only helping the coffee a little bit.
Yeah.
And what you said, if you eat something like in Sweden with a fika, if you have a cinnamon bun or a cake or something else, carrot cake, it actually works very well like a coffee too. In the same time, have in your mouth both the bun and drink some coffee and have it all together. Because sometimes I think some more washed, clean coffee fades away a bit if you eat something in the same time. You want to enjoy that cup, just the cup, in lower temperature as it is. But this coffee can really work as a good together in breakfast, lunch, after dinner, to a cake, to chocolate cake, to cinnamon bun. Yeah. That kind of drinkability coffee that you like.
Yeah.
So we actually find just this coffee that was like a good coffee, and the story behind the coffee that was and for us a new one. We sourced it through Cafe Import, and the story behind it was like different farmers leaving the coffee to the washing station. It was 8 farmers, and they do it together. And it was like, it's pretty good story behind it, and we like the coffee, and we say, let's do something that we like very much, and to put something new on the table also for you guys.
Great.
So that's.
Pardon me.
Sorry, that was.
Yeah. Okay, great. And you want to mention a little bit about the Kenyan coffee?
Yeah, the Kenyan, as we said, was at the very start when we got in touch with you guys again, something that we would want to offer because we were very satisfied with this year's Kenyan. This was something that really stood out. And we felt the same way with this as we did with the Colombian. Like, it had a lot of layers. You could find a lot of different things, regardless if you brewed it with a method that had a thicker filter or a method with a thinner filter. Like the punch juicy Kenyan ness of it really came out. And I mean, as well as for the water difference, soft hard water, I think in the hard water, it's just like, the juiciness is pretty enhanced. And I mean, obviously the acidity goes down a bit, which it also has, especially in soft water. But in the hard water, it just peaks on its like nectarine juiciness, like this traditional blackberries. It's very nice coffee. Very nice coffee.
And this is the one I've had some memories of, super juicy Kenyans that taste like black currant juice.
Yes.
And I feel this one is, when I drank it first, I said, "Oh, it's one of those that tastes like it's super juicy."
Definitely. Because we
Pardon me?
Yeah, sorry. So we had Kenyans which were a bit like balance in between, not super juicy, but could also offer some acidity, like a lemonade kind of, maybe a little bit of lime acidity. But this one really stood out as this, as you say, black currant punch in the face. So why not just offer a traditional Kenyan coffee where kind of everyone knows what's in it and what it tastes like, just like a great go-to Kenyan coffee. We feel like,
Yep. And the farm here, is that people you've worked with before?
No, actually not. When it comes to coffee, we have a lot of discussion about this. How should we do with this, like, kind of build up relation? Matteo, we started roasting coffee, as you probably know, all the way back 2007. And in that time, especially coffee was so early, and like nobody really knows what it was. And in that time, we have a roaster, Panubu, the Kafferäven, was working for Matteo, and he was the guy starting sourcing coffee. And in that time, you need to go out there to find the coffee, especially if you're wanting and to learn. And so So when he started his own business, it's sort of like, you know, people bringing their connections with them, because the connection was between he as a roaster and not Mats, who was the founder at that time. So the relations comes to him. So during these years, we have a lot of roasters like Patrick Roll from April was working here. We have Christian and the team from Oregon working here for many years. So it will always be that we are sending the roasters to building up relations. So every time we got some roasters leaving the company, we have the situation that relations follow them in, and we have like how we build it up again. So for the last years, even before the COVID situation, we find out that the suppliers like Cafe Import, Nordic Approach, LI, and so many other, they invest so much time and money to be at the lab, build lab in some countries, traveling a lot, have full-time people working just to find samples. They get so much better to source coffee. And if they know what you're looking for, kind of type or style or relations and farms, they can really find coffee for you. So the last years, I would say, and maybe the last 2-3 years, we're not really stuck to one farm or one farmer anymore. We're more working for finding a lot of interesting coffee that we like really much, and we really more trust our partners in that change, because we have coffee shops and stores and working a lot to serve coffee for customers. So it's more to have interesting coffee that offers different kind of flavors and variety, like a restaurant, you know, serving different dishes or different kind of beers in a bar. So we are on that side more on the focus. How can we make this coffee good and tell the story, not working so much as some of our friends in the company working with same farms every year, like Tim and Coffee Collective and so on. They're really stuck to the same farm, and that's great. But we try to take another take of it after doing that through our old roasters. Now it's more like we don't have build up that again. So now it's more finding great coffees, working on the relationships with our suppliers, and take the last part of the chain, like buy the best greens, pay right money for them, roast them as good as you can, and serve them as good as we can, pretty much. So that is our focus.
Yeah.
Cool.
What are you guys drinking today in your cups?
Actually, I come from another meeting, so I run just pick up. I have a washed Colombia pink bourbon in my cup right now. I would say same. Yeah. That's
on the menu for at the Matteo.
On this coffee shop that we are sitting on right now, we're serving two different batch brews coffee every day in all coffee shops, and we have like one more a blend that suits for more kind of person, a little bit lower acidity, and then we have a changing brew number 2 that can be like all coffee that we have on the shelves is coming up in different shop different days. Yeah. So this particular day in this particular shop, it was that coffee they serve. So, but at home now, I have been drinking a lot of natural Colombia, because I really enjoy it to having to my
this
breakfast.
One?
Yeah. Same. I drink it a lot now because I really like it's working very well to have like a breakfast coffee or evening coffee at home, and I prefer to have my Kenya brew as a V60 or some other more controlled brew. Even if I have great brewers, I think it's you need to brew them a little bit more care, and we enjoy it normally, and we cap it, of course, every week when we're doing our quality control. Yeah.
Great. I'll just make a note for the people viewing here how kind Matteo was. They had sent us some water from Sweden so that we could taste and cup the coffees using the same water that they use, and they sent a hard and a soft water sample. So thanks, guys, for that extra gesture of kindness and fun. We love doing A/B tests here, so it's sort of fit right into our experimenting.
Beautiful. Nice.
All right. Great. Thanks, guys. Thanks again for the super coffee.
Thank you. Thank you. It's an honor to be
really good.
On your...
And we'll catch you again.
Yeah. See you.
See you.
Yeah. Take care.
Take care, man.